There are enemies we prepare for. Strangers who oppose us openly. Voices that criticize us from outside the gate. But life teaches a harder lesson. Some enemies do not knock on the door. They are already sitting at the table. They know our routines. They understand our weaknesses. They have watched our prayers, our tears, our sacrifices. This message is not meant to create fear. It is meant to bring discernment. Because one of the most dangerous spiritual attacks is when the enemy is in your own house. The Bible reveals this truth through a man named Absalom. Not a pagan. Not a stranger. But a son. Absalom was not born an enemy. He was born into privilege. Royal blood. Access. Favor. This is how the Absalom spirit always begins. It begins inside blessing, not outside it. The Absalom spirit represents hidden rebellion, unhealed offense, desire for recognition without submission, ambition without patience. This spirit does not attack openly at first. It watches. It waits. It studies. A mature man understands this truth. Not every smile is loyalty. Not every agreement is alignment. Absalom carried pain he never healed. He carried anger he never confronted properly. And over time, pain turned into strategy. This is dangerous. When hurt is not healed, it becomes manipulation. When offense is not surrendered, it becomes rebellion. Absalom never confronted his father directly. Instead, he went to the gate. The gate is where people gather. The gate is where opinions are shaped. He didn't curse David. He questioned him. Why has no one heard your case? If I were in charge, things would be better. This is how the Absalom spirit works. It doesn't destroy trust suddenly. It erodes it slowly. Scripture says something very powerful. So Absalom stole the hearts of the people of Israel. Notice the language. Not persuaded. Not convinced. Stole. The Absalom spirit uses sympathy, emotional language, half-truths, shared frustration. A man in his 40s, 50s, or 60s has seen this before. In families. In workplaces. Even in churches. The most dangerous person is not the loud rebel. It is the quiet sympathizer who appears understanding. Why a son? Why someone close? Because proximity gives access. Only someone close knows your blind spots, understands your values, can imitate your language. The Absalom spirit knows how to sound right. It uses spiritual words, respectful tone, soft voice. But the heart is divided. A mature man learns this painful truth. Not everyone who benefits from you is loyal to you. David was a warrior. He defeated giants. He faced armies. But he struggled with family confrontation. This is important. Many strong men fail not in public battles, but in private boundaries. David ignored warning signs, lack of accountability, emotional distance, passive rebellion. Love without boundaries becomes weakness. And the Absalom spirit thrives in environments where correction is delayed. Absalom showed respect outwardly, but honor was absent inwardly. This spirit says, I respect you, but I don't submit to you. This is not disagreement. This is hidden resistance. A mature man must understand, respect without alignment is performance. True loyalty does not compete. It supports. Every Absalom spirit eventually reveals itself. The moment comes when patience ends, and ambition demands the throne. Rebellion is never satisfied with influence. It always wants control. That is why this spirit is dangerous. It doesn't just want a voice. It wants your position. This is hard to accept. But God sometimes allows an Absalom to rise, to expose weak boundaries, unhealed emotions, overtrusting without discernment. This is not punishment. This is refinement. A man who survives this test becomes wiser, quieter, deeper. This message is not about fear. It is about awareness. Not everyone who walks with you is meant to walk ahead of you. Some are assignments. Some are lessons. Some are tests. And some are warnings. Sometimes God does not remove the enemy immediately. Instead, he creates distance. David had to leave his palace. Not because he was weak, but because God was repositioning him. A mature man understands this truth. Not every separation is loss. Some separations are preservation. When someone close begins to challenge your peace, your authority, and your calling, distance becomes wisdom. God uses distance to protect your spirit, expose hidden intentions, prevent permanent damage. Absalom's rebellion did not happen overnight. It was the result of years of unchecked behavior. Silence is not always patience. Sometimes silence is permission. Many men delay correction because they want peace. They fear conflict. They hope things will improve on their own. But the Absalom spirit interprets silence as approval. Correction delayed becomes rebellion empowered. A wise man learns to speak early, clearly, and firmly. Absalom didn't attack David's leadership directly. He attacked people's emotions. He listened. He sympathized. He agreed. But agreement without truth is manipulation. The Absalom spirit says, "I understand you," without saying, "Let's honor what is right." Mature discernment understands this. Not everyone who listens wants to heal. Some listen to control. Absalom was handsome, charming, well-spoken. Charisma attracts crowds. But character sustains legacy. The danger comes when people follow appearance instead of substance. A man who has lived long enough knows. Charm fades. Truth remains. Never confuse popularity with calling. Loyalty is rarely stolen in one day. It is transferred slowly. Small doubts. Repeated suggestions. Consistent whispers. That is how the Absalom spirit operates. By the time people realize what happened, their hearts have already shifted. A wise leader watches not only actions, but conversations. For a mature man, betrayal cuts deep, because it comes after investment. Time, trust, guidance, sacrifice. David did not lose a battle. He lost a relationship. That pain is different. But betrayal does not mean failure. It means your capacity to love was real. Even in Absalom's rebellion, God remained sovereign. What was meant to destroy David ended up humbling him, refining him, and drawing him closer to God. The Absalom spirit can shake your position, but it cannot remove your calling. What God establishes, man cannot overthrow permanently. David showed mercy to Absalom repeatedly. Mercy is powerful, but mercy without wisdom becomes dangerous. There is a time to forgive, and a time to set limits. A mature man learns, forgiveness heals the heart. Boundaries protect the future. David was torn between two roles, a king and a father. This is one of the hardest battles for any man. Love can cloud judgment. Emotion can override authority. The Absalom spirit often survives because of emotional access. Wisdom teaches us to balance compassion with responsibility. Eventually, Absalom declared himself king. Hidden ambition always reveals itself. No mask lasts forever. God allows exposure not to shame, but to bring clarity. When truth comes out, confusion ends. This story is not about Absalom alone. It is about discernment, leadership, and wisdom. A mature believer learns to discern hearts, not just words. Act early, not late. Trust God, not emotions. Enemies outside can be defeated. Enemies inside must be discerned. One of the greatest mistakes strong men make is confusing closeness with loyalty. Familiarity reduces caution. Access removes fear. And over time, respect can quietly fade. Absalom grew up around authority. He watched leadership daily. But exposure without humility breeds entitlement. A mature man learns this lesson late in life. Not everyone who knows your story should know your strategy. God allowed David's throne to shake, not to remove him, but to remind him where his strength truly came from. When systems fail and relationships collapse, God calls a man back to dependence. This season strips pride. It deepens prayer. It simplifies faith. Sometimes God shakes what can be shaken. So what is eternal remains. Unaddressed issues do not disappear. They transfer. Absalom's rebellion carried traces of David's earlier failures. This is difficult but necessary truth. What we don't confront in one generation shows up louder in the next. A wise man breaks cycles by addressing roots, not symptoms. David was misunderstood by his own people. The same crowd that once celebrated him questioned him. This is one of the hardest pains for a leader. When your silence is interpreted as weakness, and your patience as inability. But a mature man learns. You don't have to explain yourself to everyone who misunderstands you. David's escape was not humiliation. It was healing in motion. God hides his servants sometimes to restore their strength. In quiet seasons, pride is removed. Vision is renewed. Dependence deepens. Retreat is not defeat, when God is the one leading it. Absalom gathered many followers, but they followed emotion, not truth. Crowds built on deception do not last. When reality confronts manipulation, support fades. A mature man does not envy false popularity. He values faithful alignment. God did not need to defend David loudly. Time revealed truth. God's justice often works quietly, slowly, but surely. The Absalom spirit collapses under its own weight. What is built on rebellion cannot sustain itself. This story teaches leaders and fathers to lead with clarity, courage, consistency. Love must be balanced with accountability. Without structure, affection becomes weakness. A mature man leads with both heart and wisdom. Emotions are powerful, but they are poor decision makers. The Absalom spirit thrives in emotional environments where truth is avoided to keep peace. Wisdom chooses truth over comfort. Peace without truth is temporary. David did not fight for the throne. He trusted God with it. This is mature faith. When God establishes you, you don't have to compete. Waiting refines the heart and exposes false ambition around you. No matter how carefully deception is managed, truth has a way of surfacing. Absalom's rebellion reached a point where masks were no longer effective. A mature man understands this. What is hidden grows heavier with time. Eventually, even loyal sympathizers begin to sense inconsistency. Truth doesn't rush, but it never arrives late. Ambition is not evil, but ambition without submission is dangerous. Absalom wanted authority without responsibility. He wanted influence without accountability. This kind of ambition destroys families, organizations, and legacies. Wisdom teaches a man to test ambition before trusting it. David lost comfort, position, and peace temporarily, but he did not lose God's covering. Protection sometimes looks like being removed, being humbled, being misunderstood. A mature believer learns not to measure God's favor by comfort. David did not defend himself publicly. He allowed God to speak through time. Silence, when guided by wisdom, becomes strength. Not every accusation deserves a response. Not every lie needs correction. Time reveals what arguments cannot. Unity built on shared frustration cannot survive pressure. Absalom's supporters were united by emotion, not by purpose. When fear entered, unity collapsed. A wise man builds alliances on truth, not sympathy. Even when rebellion looked successful, God was not surprised. History shows this clearly. God allows movement but controls outcomes. This truth brings peace to a mature heart. Nothing escapes divine oversight. Divided loyalty weakens judgment. Many followed Absalom, while still respecting David, but divided hearts eventually choose sides. A mature man values clarity over convenience. Half loyalty is still betrayal. David had to release Absalom into God's hands. This is painful. Love sometimes must let go to allow truth to surface. Control delays growth. Release allows reality. This message is not only about others. It asks a personal question. Are we ever carrying the Absalom spirit unknowingly? Unchecked pride, hidden resentment, silent competition. Wisdom begins with self-examination. In the end, what matters most is legacy. Not who temporarily rises, but who remains aligned with God. David's throne endured. Absalom's ambition did not. A mature man invests in what outlives him. One of the hardest lessons for a mature man is accepting that control is an illusion. David realized this deeply during Absalom's rebellion. He could not control hearts. He could not force loyalty. He could only trust God. The Absalom spirit thrives where leaders believe they can manage everything. Wisdom comes when a man releases control and rests in God's authority. Absalom wanted the position. David carried the purpose. Position can be taken. Purpose must be given by God. This is why Absalom could sit on the throne, but could never carry the weight of it. A mature man does not chase titles. He walks faithfully in assignment. Pain refines perception. After betrayal, David never trusted blindly again. This is not bitterness. This is wisdom earned. A man who has been wounded learns to listen differently, observe carefully, and pray deeper. Discernment often comes through painful education. Absalom surrounded himself with voices that affirmed him, not corrected him. Pride rejects counsel. Wisdom seeks it. A mature man values voices that challenge his thinking, not just comfort his ego. The absence of correction is often a sign of approaching collapse. Absalom had plans, advisors, timing, but God disrupted his strategy. Scripture shows us that God can confuse even the wisest counsel when ambition opposes divine order. A mature believer finds peace here. No plan against God ever succeeds fully. David mourned deeply, not for the throne, but for the son. Strong men grieve quietly. They carry pain without display. This kind of grief matures the soul and softens the heart. Strength does not mean absence of sorrow. It means endurance through it. David wanted mercy. Justice demanded consequence. This tension defines leadership. A mature man learns that mercy cannot cancel truth, and truth cannot erase compassion. Wisdom stands between the two. Human decisions are emotional. God's timing is intentional. While David suffered, God was arranging outcomes. Delay was not denial. Silence was not absence. A mature faith rests, even when answers are slow. Those who follow rebellion often suffer consequences they never anticipated. Many followed Absalom for relief, not rebellion. But deception always demands a price. A wise man chooses alignment carefully. When the noise settled, when ambition collapsed, what remained was God's covenant. Positions changed, people shifted, but God's promise endured. A mature man anchors his life, not in people, not in systems, but in God's faithfulness. One of the quiet miracles in David's story is that God restored him without needing to explain everything. Not every loss required clarification. Not every betrayal demanded closure. God brought David back, not because people understood, but because God had decided. A mature man learns this peace. Restoration does not need public approval. It only needs divine permission. Before Absalom, David led with openness. After Absalom, he led with discernment. This was not hardness. It was maturity.